those headphones don't work?
Tell me, what are you doing out here tonight?
I'm gonna see a good show and celebrate an important day for, I guess, all of, every hip hop fan.
Because you gotta show respect for, the deceased and everything else. Well, I know for a fact Biggie influenced a lot of people in my family, so just showing respect for that, if not anything else,
I'm a backtrack and go forward. When Biggie died, it bothered me a lot. He was born. He was raised on St. James Place, and I was born on 150 St. James Place between Gates and Green. Definitely, it was a different era. I was in the '60s. He was in the '70s. But at the time frame in the '90s when rap came out, I wasn't a fan of rap. I liked house music and skating music. But I like Biggie. I like his roughness, his rawness, and all of that. And it was just a travesty. His loss was a travesty to everybody.
Well, Big created the foundation for Bed-Stuy. He put Bed-Stuy on the map #1. And it's just a big thing for Brooklyn because not too many pioneers come from Brooklyn besides him and Jay-Z. That's actual icons in the music business. So as far as Brooklyn concerned, we all ride off a big, hard body. We all gonna do what we gonna do. We all gonna come and support Puff. And we just gonna make everything happen. It's a big night. It's a big event, and I'm glad to be here.
I'm celebrating Biggie, man. I mean, Puffy is just, he's part of it. He's a big part of it. But Biggie's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Biggie's what it is. This is Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. We all from Bed-Stuy over here.
How has it impacted your life in particular? The music, or whatever. Or, yeah. See,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
No.
Wait, let him say, I'm coming to
The music did a lot. The music did a lot because it hits is hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it hits you, you felt it. You know what I'm saying? When he came out, was nobody sound like him. Nobody. So when he came out, we all just embraced him. And plus, at the time, you remember, nobody really was hot from Brooklyn.
That's right.
So when we came out, everybody was like, yo, this is what it is.
It's bittersweet because to celebrate Bed-Stuy in this fashion and have it come back to Bed-Stuy in this fashion is tremendous, but we lost a hero. So it's like, I mean, how do you equate that? So you're celebrating the beauty of his legacy, but the reality is he's gone. So, I saw all of these posts and blogs today about his songs and his lyrics, and so you think about what he could have been. Not just to the music world, but, you know what I'm saying, like his foundation, which I ran for a long time, was about, we had changed the acronym from big to books. It started meaning books instead of guns. And so we were going into the schools. We were able to provide books and do libraries over. We did PS3 over, we did 56 over. So we were able to take some of the money that he earned and put it right back into the school. So I can't imagine what he would have done if he was alive. We did that in his death, in his memory, but imagine if he was alive.
Listen, man, I done sold Biggie Coogee sweaters before, you know what I mean? I was,
You know about Brooklyn,
I grew up with Biggie.
BBB.
Yes, no, I
Brooklyn
did.
Baddest
Yes,
Boosters.
I really did, yeah.
Brooklyn
for sure,
Baddest
nigga.
Boosters.
Biggie
We was
still
out
owe me
here.
money. He
was
still owe
out
me
here.
$400 for a sweater, but that's my nigga, so I don't even care no more. You know, he's still my peoples.
We here to do this for him. It's
All
all for
day,
him
you see?
tonight.
Look,
Right
look,
here.
Biggie Smalls all day.
All for him.
All day.
All for him.
How does that make you feel, Biggie, coming from Brooklyn?
I feel good. It makes me feel real good to know that we got somebody, that's shining and like that, Everybody love him all around the world, and he's from Bed-Stuy, and that's where I'm from. And I'm loved, so I know he was loved. Thank you.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. Put your hands in the air. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Till the honey's getting money playing like dummies.
You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Baby.
What verse stands out in your mind?
What verse?
Yeah, any verse?
Well, the easy one is live from Bedford-Stuyvesant. Ah, stop! Don't put me on the spot.
Ugly as ever. However, I stay Coochie down to the socks. You know what I mean? You already know.
Black and ugly as hell, with pockets fat as hell, something like that.
Heart throb never, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Coochie down to the socks.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, when I was dead broke, I couldn't what? Picture this? yeah, right. I like the life I live because I went from negative to positive, and you know what? I messed it up, but it's all good.
And if you don't know,
now you know, yeah.
Biggie, give me one more chance. Junior Mafia. I'm from Bed-Stuy, I love Biggie. That's why I'm out here representing Bed-Stuy. You got the wanna be Kim in the house. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm doing it up.
Freaks all the honeys, dummies, playboy.
Fat Chris, as we called him on St. James, because I'm from St. James between Gates and Green. Yo, I grew up with him. And Jay Barbershop. Rosalind, Ebony from St. James. She introduced me to him as Fat Chris. We all grew up together. You know, we had a great time.
We lived in the same building. He lived 226 St. James. He was in 3R. We were in 1R. So, you know, I don't know what stories I can tell for the cameras, but I mean.
In terms of the success, you saw the transition.
I saw the transition. I thought he handled it well. I thought his mother, who was friends with my mother and my family, I thought they all handled it well. They never, you know what I mean? He never really wanted to leave. Like if you asked him, when he moved to Jersey, when he moved to Fort Lee with Kim and all of them, he was like a fish out of water.
And when he got famous, you know, we knew he was untouchable, but we always loved him. And he always been an influence in my life because I personally knew him. Our block parties, he used to come, so it was really nice. So that's how he influenced my life. No, he never forgot.
Some people leave and they don't come back.
No, he came back, and his mom still lived there. So, you know, yeah, he never forgot. Kim is from there too, from our area too. LG, all of us grew up together.
He always wanted to be here, but you know, success, you know, brings hatred sometimes. So it was very difficult for him once he had gotten a monochrome of success not to be able to celebrate it where he came from. So that was kind of rough watching him. And I remember once he told me personally that being in the rap game was worse than being in the drug game. Because there were rules on the street, but there was no rules for music and the way that executives treat you and all of that. So he was, you know, so there was those kind of stories that if he was alive, I would love to hear how he negotiated that and was able to be successful through that.
Your favorite Biggie verse?
Yes, right now she's the only one left.
All of them. I'm keeping it real because I'm a Brooklyn diehard Biggie fan.
Birthday was our birthday. Champagne will be thirsty.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you that his music, even older people might not know the lyrics, but the beat, they get it in their bones. You understand what I'm saying?
Biggie basically, his music, he was waiting for his time. His music was
you can bump his music
right now, and you can still hear something in his music that,
my son is 6
you never
years
even
old,
heard
and
before.
He knows Biggie's songs word for word, and he's only 6 years old.
Okay,
He wasn't even here when Biggie was born. And he knows Biggie's words word for word.
Biggie, what's the first verse that comes to mind?
I don't know if I could curse. Oh, the world, don't ask me, because everything I do, I got to work hard for it.
I didn't want to go commercial. Because I'm an actual Biggie fan. I didn't want to go commercial.
Oh, 10 crack commandments.
It's the 10 crack commandments. Wow.
10 crack commandments.
10 crack commandments. What? Damn credit. That it. That's forget it.
It was all a dream.
Let my man take him. Let my man take him. Nah, man.
I'm not a rapper. Listen.
This for the camera. This for the lad. This for all of us, baby. You know what I'm saying, man? Security squad. You know, some niggas know how to be, baby.
Well, I used to live right down the block from him. You understand what I'm saying? So I used to see him rhyming on the block and all that. So I admire him. You know what I mean? He's good people. Good brother-in-law.
What verse comes to mind?
It was all a dream.
What a magazine! But how Biggie inspired our life? Biggie used to, you know what I'm saying, we used to all hang out together back in the days on Fulton Street. There used to be a whole bunch of us. We used to sit down, rap, talk, and have fun. When he made that song Juicy, that was the song. I'm the guy we talk about in his video, Tropic Prophet like Alan Coppin. That's me, baby.
Okay. All right, so now you're going to have to spit that verse right there. You don't have to do it like you.
We'll put you on the spot.
I don't know that part.
You know. Okay, well, which verse do you know? That sticks in your mind.
Alan Copper's my name, baby. I gotta go with that. You know what I'm saying, man? He lay down laws like Alan Copper. Stop it if you want to try to make a profit. You see my gun, you see my one, hit it before we get the lab to split it.
As I lay down laws like Alan Copper. Stop it if you think they're gonna make a profit. Don't see my ones, don't see my guns. Get it?
So talk about the significance, because we are gathering, but yet we're also learning and like celebrating a life of success. So then, you know, it says something to us in terms of our community, in terms of where we want to be. I mean, like, how does that affect you personally?
Well, personally, I feel like this. First of all, we have a responsibility to protect our heroes. And I know that immediately after his death, there was a petition going around to rename that street, St. James. We were on St. James between Fulton and Gates. And there was a petition that went out immediately to rename the street. And the new transplants to that area, you know what I mean? Because there was new transplants coming in at that time, and a lot of them had moved on that block. And they were like, no, we're not gonna rename a street after a drug deal, after this, after that. And I felt personally offended, because you don't get to judge our heroes. And for a lot of us, he was a hero for his age group and for kids underneath him. So the people that actually fought against that, and we could have won it, but his mother was the one who said, you know what, I don't want this. Like, she didn't want the war. We were ready. Those people who were on his foundation and those people who were friends of his were ready to go to war for the renaming of the street. His mother stopped us. She was like, no, I don't want to have nothing to do with that, because she didn't want her son's name dragged through the mud. And ultimately, that's what they were going to do. They were going to talk about whatever arrests. They were going to talk about whatever negative behavior, and she didn't want that. But we were like, yo, we'll insulate you from that. We need to have this done, and she refused to let it be done. And the first foundation was actually located on Lafayette. That's where we were first, and then we moved to Manhattan, and then she ultimately moved to Pennsylvania. So, I mean, that was bittersweet for me to move it out of Bed-Stuy. I had begged her to keep it there, to have a museum in his honor, and have everybody donate memorabilia, but it didn't work out that way.
So his music.
Listen, the funny thing is, his music is a music that has permeated every aspect of African American culture, right? So it ain't just hip hop. I went away to school. I went to University of Alabama. Them cats was fiending for Biggie music when I got down there. And these are you know what I'm saying, educated people. Like, you can go by on a day like today, you can ride through Bed-Stuy, Clinton Hills, Fort Greene, whatever you want to call it, and everybody's playing the music. Teachers, principals, you know what I'm saying, people from NYCHA, no matter where you go, you hearing his music. So that lets you know what it is.
How has his music impacted your life?
Well, I mean, I grew up listening to the Notorious. I think it's my generation. I'm 28, so it was, you know, popular music for me.
Great music. I didn't know him personally, but as far as his music and his lyrics and what he had to say and the things he done for Brooklyn, it was just impeccable.
Yo, if it wasn't for Biggie, he was way ahead of his time. He was way ahead of his time. When it came to his rapping joint, it was crazy.
You know, it opened me up to something that I'm not used to seeing or hearing. It was something very different from, you know, how I was raised and how I grew up. I didn't see or hear anything like that before, and I guess it attracted me, and, you know, my friend, and I guess other people that kind of look like me, as this guy was saying.
That's right.
And we fell in love with the guy.
What's the first verse or whatever that?
Ready to die. Ready to die.
Yeah, just give me just a little bit. You can say the verse. You don't have to rap.
Well, a lot of them lyrics are a little explicit, so I might not want to do that one. But that's actually honestly, that's what I was pumping when his mother knocked on the door. So I'm thinking, what could she possibly be thinking to hear that?
When I say Biggie, what song comes to mind right off the back? As soon as I say Biggie,
right.
Boom, what music?
Juicy.
Give me a verse.
Juicy.
Yeah.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper, every day up in a limousine.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in a limousine.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine.
And if you don't know, now you know. You know.